It's me, Chrissy Pips, and welcome back to Mindset Monday. Yes, don't yell at me. You're correct. It's not Monday, but this is the Monday video, okay? I had a horrible migraine. I'm still going to get the content out to you just a little bit late. I am over the migraine, though. I can now have light in my rooms. And you see the containers back there? I'm getting ready to start putting up Christmas stuff. So y'all will start seeing some sparkly stuff floating around because I love glitter. But if you enjoy the content in my videos and you don't want to miss out on what's next, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. But if you're here, you're interested. So let's get into it. Now, in the last video, we talked about the mastermind group, the benefits of creating a group and being in a mastermind group. And have you put your mastermind group together yet? Let me know in the comments below, okay? But today, we're going to dive into the next part, which is the transmutation of sexual energy.
The revolution will be live.
Sex is the most powerful desire, and we're going to talk about how to transform such a strong desire into strong action. Okay? So there are three things that we're going to go over. Three different parts. But let's start with just a few tidbits of information, okay? So there's a negative stigma behind sex, right? It's such a, oh, we can't, that's not true. We can talk about it. We're adults. If you have children, you've done it. Don't tell me you didn't. You got babies. But it is for the, let's see, what's the word? The perpetuation of mankind. It's used to procreate and let us live on, right? Well, another thing that sex is used for is a therapeutic aid. What do you mean? What do you mean you don't understand? So, have you ever been sexually frustrated? And then after you do it, you feel way better? Yeah, you needed to let off some steam. And it's also used in the context in which we're going to use it today, which is the transmutation of mediocrity into genius. So, I want to make sure that everybody understands we're not going to talk dirty here. But we are going to get a little bit personal, okay? Have you ever been sexually frustrated and you needed to find something to do to get your mind off of it? Well, I have. See that painting right there? See that one? Yup. Just a little bit of frustration. And I put it on canvas and it came out beautiful, if I don't say so myself. So, that's what I mean by transmuting that energy or using that energy to create action, okay? Now, there are 10 things that can, how do you say, 10 different stimuli that can be pushed over into the category that we're going over today. So let's go over the 10 of those. Okay, so the way our brains work is that there are certain triggers, right? Triggers that can create that high level of vibration that you need in order to have those genius ideas that we talked about in the creation video, right? So there's 10 things that we can say attribute to getting our minds and our bodies to that high level of vibration. And that high level of vibration is what we want to use in order to like switch that energy into action, or as far as like attaining our goals. We need to have that high level of like vibration, that high level of energy, that high level of thought, so that we have the necessary amount of vibration to transform into directed into the avenue that we want it to go. So there are 10 things that we can say attribute to creating that vibration, right? So the desire of sex expression is the first one, okay? Love is another one that will push us to that heights. Fame, fortune, and things like that. Fame or power will help us reach that height. Music, if you're like a music aficionado, music will help you to vibrate at that higher frequency. Friendship between the same sex or opposite sex, but good friendships, like strong friendships, strong bonds, will help you to vibrate at that higher frequency. The mastermind group as well will help you to vibrate at that higher frequency, because that's a group of people that's like-minded and thinking about moving towards the same direction. And that just helps you stay in that let's go get it mode. So that's a very good one. Mutual suffering is a negative thing that can reach us or help us to reach that vibration, but it is on the list as well, because it's not all positive things that will help you get to that vibration, because you can make some really stupid decisions off of negative emotion. Auto-suggestion is also something that can help, and we talked about this in the very first video. We also have a video called auto-suggestion, and it explains how you're able to reach that higher frequency. Fear is one of the greatest motivators, and whether you fear failure in success or whether you feel fear trying to be successful, right? Fear is a great motivator, and it will motivate you either really, really left or really, really right. So fear is on the list as well. And drugs and alcohol can also help you to reach that higher vibration, but that is also another one of the negative ones. There are two negatives that are in this list, but you need to know what helps you to reach that higher vibration so that you can pinpoint when you're in one of those moods or when one of those things is happening. Because if you're in like one of these 10 things, it would be a good idea to write down any ideas that you get during these higher vibration levels. Okay, so for the list of 10, keep in mind that sex is number 1 on the list because it is the most powerful emotion. It is the most powerful vibration, right? And it is the thing that can push you to the highest heights. And I'll give you a few examples of some great people. Well, actually, nope. I'll in the comments below. Let's see if you can think of somebody great in history that was strongly motivated. Let's say by a woman to do something either very great or very dumb. List them in the comments below. Now, keep in mind that a lot of wars and a lot of conquerors have always had very great reasons like this, reasons to go into these wars and to conquer these other places, right? And most of the time, if you're looking at history, it's been because of a woman. It's been because of a woman, okay? She done persuaded him that she wants this rare item from this country. You need to go over there and go get it for me, and then you can have all of this, right? Don't judge me. But yeah, most of the stuff that what is this? It's a garden in Eden, or it was a garden in Eden that this man made on the top of one of the buildings there. Oh, what is it? If y'all can think of it, put it in the comments below for me, because I can't think of it right now. But it's a very big, beautiful garden that a king made, or a pharaoh made for his wife. And it was like with him stealing different animals from different areas of the country just for her for this garden, because he didn't want her to go out. Crazy story. If y'all know what it is, let me know, because I can't think of it at the moment. But if you're able to to be cognizant of the emotion that you're going through, because if you're able to identify it and use it to your advantage, it helps you to stay motivated for success. Now, throughout this video, I'm not in any way, shape, or form telling you one, to go out and just screw everybody you meet. That's not what I'm saying. And I am not telling you to abstain. Okay? Because remember, we talked about sexual frustration first. Okay? I'm not telling you to abstain from having sex. And I'm not telling you to go out and just be the next, who got 50 kids? Who's somebody that got a whole bunch of kids? Any celebrity or anybody ever in history that got, y'all know people. Like, I got a friend that got like 10 siblings. I think it's so crazy. Because it's like all her dad got a lot of kids. Not by the same person. But yeah, I'm not telling you to go out and do that. And I'm not telling you to abstain. What I'm saying is, when you get that urge, sometimes it might be a very good idea to use that to your advantage and to use that as fuel to get you going in the direction of success. Use it to your advantage, okay? Okay, so the whole purpose of us trying to harness this energy is to reach that level of genius thought, okay? So it's kind of hard to explain, really. So the level of genius thought is that high level of vibration, that frequency that we want to get to. And it's not a level that everybody can get to. So we're going to use these little stepping stones, these items, to kind of push our minds further than what it would normally go otherwise if it wasn't at that rate of vibration. So we're going to identify what helps us to get to this rate of vibration, and then we're going to use that. Now, you might be asking, well, why can't I get to that level of vibration without having to use some sort of emotion? Because at the end of the day, emotion is extremely powerful when channeled and when it's used the right way. Okay, now you might be asking, for that level of genius, are there any known sources of knowledge that we can use to get to that level of genius? And if so, what are they? Well, my goal is to answer both of those questions and at least give you the information so that you can conduct your own experiments. So you can kind of do some exploration on your own, okay? Now, genius is developed through the sixth sense. And the sixth sense, that is really hard for a person with a lisp to say. It's really difficult. But the sixth sense is developed through creative imagination. And we have an entire video from a previous chapter, I'll probably link it below, on creative imagination. Now, if you're able to intentionally use creative imagination to your advantage, some might say that you are a genius, because most people don't use creative imagination intentionally. Most people don't use it at all, right? So if you are able to intentionally and with purpose use creative imagination to your advantage, it puts you way ahead of a lot of people. So let's talk about how to do that. So going back to the chapter about creative imagination, remember we talked about hunches and those thoughts that just pop into your head. So those can be attributed to like infinite intelligence. And we discussed that in the previous video. The subconscious mind. We discussed that is actually going to be the topic of the next video. I think too. I'll check before the end of this video. But the subconscious mind is something else that gives you those hunches, right? And then when you have those conversations with your mastermind group, you also get hunches and things from that. So that is another way that the creative imagination that is happening behind the scenes is to your benefit. And going through the steps that we're going through, we're just showing you how, or Napoleon Hill and I are just showing you how to harness those to your advantage. Okay, so going back to the list of 10 things from before, when those things come into play, your mind is vibrating at a higher level of vibration than what it normally does, right? When your mind is at that higher level of vibration, that's when the creative thought process comes into action. No thought or idea has ever been created by anybody outside of those 3 types of creation that we went over. So infinite intelligence, those hunches from the subconscious mind, or through that creative storehouse from having those conversations with somebody else, those brainstorming moments that you have, and then you instantly get an idea to pop in your head. So knowing that those 10 things are what best stimulate us, and remember that 2 of those things are negative, but those 10 things are what stimulates us and gets us to that higher level of vibration. Now that we know what they are, now that we know what they do, let's talk about how to shift them to our advantage. Okay, you know how in a previous video we talked about having limiting beliefs? Well, now that we can pinpoint things that help us to vibrate at a higher frequency, and just like that airplane, when you get to that higher frequency, there aren't so many things that are limiting you. There aren't so many things that are in your way, blocking you, right? So that's the whole point that I'm trying to get to. And it's like in such a roundabout way, right? But we want to identify how we can get to, or identify what helps us to vibrate at that higher frequency, so that we can do some of those things more, like having conversations with great friends and family to bounce ideas off of, aka the mastermind group, listening to good music that inspires you. When you have that urge, use that energy to like transfer that energy into action, right? What else do we say? Auto suggestion, and you can suggest things to your subconscious mind by using the auto suggestion steps from the previous video. Fear is also a very good motivator. Not the best motivator, not the most positive motivator, but a very good motivator. Fear motivates me to not do anything that involves spiders because I'm terrified of them. However, they do motivate me to like clean sometimes, because I refuse to move my couch out every time I vacuum. But if I see a spider, I get strong as 10 men and I'll move that couch and I'll vacuum up under, over, and behind it. Sure will. But now that we've identified these things that help us to get to that higher frequency, and we from the previous videos understand how infinite intelligence works, how the subconscious mind works, and how like those sessions, those mastermind sessions work as well, we can use these things to vibrate at the higher frequency. So I do strongly suggest always having some sort of notebook. Like I have 2. I have this one and I have this one that's always in my purse. Like and I just usually transfer my notes from this one into this one by the end of the day. But I use those, and I keep one of them next to my bed. I keep the black one next to my bed, and I keep the little one in my purse. When I say a black one, like they both wasn't black, right? Like they both went black. So I keep this one next to my bed, and I keep this one in my purse. So I can always like write down my ideas when I have them, because you don't always remember your dreams, right? And if you have a thought, sometimes it never comes back. So just be prepared for that, right? Okay, going back to our plane example. When we are on this higher plane, remember I was saying that you are now able to see over around some of the obstacles that would have normally been in your way. So now you can see the solution to a problem that you were only looking at eye level. You can see the solution now because you have more view, right? Your mind is now in a place where it doesn't have so many constraints, so many limitations. So vibrating at that higher frequency, identifying when and how you are vibrating at that higher frequency, and knowing what to do is always going to be to your advantage. Okay, and I found out what it was. It's the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. So the guy created that garden for his girl. Strong motivation. Beautiful garden. One of the 7 wonders of the world I really want to go see. But to wrap things up, because we're not going to make this a long video. Sex best motivator if you're transmuting it into action, right? And a good way to do that, like I said, is to identify those emotions, those things, those triggers that get you to that higher vibration. And you want to first, now that we've did it, I hope you wrote them down, the 10 things. We want to first identify that, and we want to be cognizant. And then we want to think about the issue or the question that we have. We want to think about the information that we know, okay? And write these things down. So if this is your problem, you want to find a solution to your problem, or if this is your quandary, you want to find a solution to your quandary, write it down. Write down what you know, and then because you're at that higher frequency, because you're vibrating at that higher level, your mind is working a little bit different. You're going to start filling in the blanks, okay? And what you would do to do that is, after you write down what you know, write down some questions of things that you don't know as far as getting to the solution, because your subconscious mind is going to start filling in those blanks for you, okay? So short video today. Didn't want to linger on it, but sex is the best motivator. There are 10 motivators, 2 of which are not positive motivators, so be cognizant of that. Just getting your mind to vibrate at that higher frequency puts you at that genius level. As long as you're cognizant, as long as you're conscious, as long as you're aware of what's going on, you can use that energy from those 10 things and use them in a positive way to find answers and solutions. So that's why in the very first video, I did make it a point of saying, make sure that your goals are bigger than what you think you can achieve. If your goal is to get to the furthest star, right, and you don't get to that star because the idea was so far-fetched, you still end up landing on the moon, right? And that's not a bad thing. You're definitely further than where you were. I was listening to well, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna do an entire video on that in a couple days. Like, we need to talk again. We need to have a conversation with y'all. But like I said, we're not gonna linger on this topic. This particular chapter was taboo chapter, not even really taboo, but that's all it was about. It was about changing the energy into something else. Do not abstain. It just makes you a very pissed off, grumpy person. Don't do that. If you are being abstinent, continue on, because you are already using that energy for something different. So congratulations. If you are active in having sex, use it to your advantage, okay? And I'm not saying abstain. And again, don't go out there and start procreating the world. Like, don't repopulate the earth, okay? That's not what we're talking about here when I say don't abstain. But yeah, the next Mindset Monday topic is gonna be, it's gonna be the subconscious mind, okay? We're going to dive deeper into that, because we dove into it a little bit in the auto suggestion video. We're going to dive into it a little bit deeper in the next video on Monday. And guess what? Since it is the Christmas season, it's my favorite season of the year, I am going to do the 25 days of trading. Okay? And that's in the month of December. At the end of the month of December, those who are participating will have the opportunity to win a 1-hour one-on-one session. We'll go over your favorite pair, and I'll go answer some questions for you using my analysis and how I mark up my pairs, how I mark up my charts. I'll help you to mark up yours. That way you at least have another way to mark up the chart, because there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. But you'll have a one-on-one 1-hour session where we can just go over some information, just kick it, and get your questions on the table, right? Now, if you've enjoyed today's content and you don't want to miss out on what's next, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, right? And in the month of December, you're going to see a post come out December 1st, and it's going to start our 25 days of trading. And I'll announce the winner. I'll do it on Christmas Day. I'll do it on the channel. Just a quick video and I'll announce 4 winners. We're going to pick 4 winners. If I get a large amount of participation, I will add in a couple more winners because I don't have a problem with doing a couple hours for sessions. I'll block out some time and let you choose your dates and your times. But I guess that's going to be it for now. I hope you guys are having an awesome and productive day. If you're not, make it an awesome and productive day. We are positive all the time, right? But I'm going to call it a night and see you guys later.